Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 1127 of Screw the Commute podcast. Today, we're going to talk about Zoom Notes versus the AI companion. So this is a Zoom-oriented episode, and my right-hand guy, Larry from up New York, is going to take over here in a minute and tell you the differences and what you can do with both of them. Hope you didn't miss episode 1126. That was how to pay for stuff in a store with your cell phone. I used to watch people hold their phones up there and wonder what's going on. Well, I figured it out, and it's a lot of interesting stuff in so many different ways now that you can do it, both on a smart, on your smartphone. All right, pick up a copy of our automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. Version 3.0 is the latest. However, Short Keys is promoted in that book, which I have been pushing very hard for years because it saves you millions of keystrokes. And it's now a browser extension instead of an installed program. So that's the difference in when you get your copy of that book. So go to screwthecommute.com/automate free to grab your copy. All right, and check out my mentor program at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com and my school at imtcva.org, certified to operate by Chev. All right, we're going to bring Larry on. Larry has got millions and millions, I think 22 million certificates and degrees and stuff, IT stuff that I can't pronounce. And he has handled all 1,126 episodes of this podcast, and I'm hoping he's going to handle this one after I edit it. He's the one that distributes it for me through Libsyn. So I believe every episode, right? Plus some extras?
Yes, absolutely. From the very beginning.
That's amazing. Okay, so let's get into talking about stuff from Zoom so you can see what to do with the notes and what's the AI companion and all that stuff. Take it away, Larry.
All right. Hello, everyone. We're going to try and keep this short because the information I'm going to give you will definitely help you on Zoom when you use it. And I don't know of anybody at this point that's not using Zoom for something. So this is very important that you pay attention to this because it will help you. So a lot of people think Zoom Notes, which is built into Zoom, and it's been there since the beginning, and Zoom AI Companion are pretty much the same thing. Oh, no. They are not. So one is basically, what's the word I want to use? Collaborative workspace and note-taking system. It's like taking notes in Notepad or the Notes app on an Apple device and so on and so on. Just taking notes. You're typing, you're taking notes. The other is an AI-powered assistant built into Zoom called the AI Companion. So today what I want to do is break down what each one does, where they overlap, and when you should use one versus the other. So for Zoom Notes, just think of this as a shared notebook. It's a meeting notes workspace where you can type notes and all this other stuff, and you can share it with everybody else on the call.
Do you have to share it?
Say that again?
Do you have to share it?
You do not have to share. No,
Okay.
You have complete control over who sees what in all of these things, actually.
When it's your Zoom room, then, right?
Yes, when it's your Zoom room. If you are collaborating with someone else and they are the host, quote unquote, then your notes get put into the group's notes and they can see all of that. But as the host or as the one setting this up, you have complete control over who sees what. You can set up your own private little notebook right there as your inside Zoom.
Got it.
So it's very, very similar to Google Docs, Microsoft OneNote, and so on, all those types of things. So why do we use notes? Very simple. It's human created. You're the one typing those notes in. Nobody else is taking these notes. So it's coming directly from you or the other people you're on Zoom with. You can organize meeting content to that. You can collaborate before, during, and after meetings with that. And it's a way to make sure that you document what has gone on in that Zoom meeting.
All right, but you're typing these in. Is that correct?
Yes,
Or
Notes
it's
is very
transcribing
similar.
what's being said or what?
It is not transcribing anything. Notes is just like any Notes app. You type it in, or you could use the microphone to dictate it, but you're on Zoom, so you're going to be typing it in.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on your phone, you'd be typing it in. If you're on any other device, you'd be typing it in. So always keep that in mind. When it says Notes, you're typing it in. All right, so let's flip the card here and go to Zoom AI Companion. So what's the difference? Okay, first thing is AI Companion has to be turned on. It is not on by default unless you set Zoom to do that. And I believe you can if you're the host. And I'm not sure if you need a premium package or anything, but I don't think so. AI Companion now is everywhere. So what is this AI Companion compared to Notes? Well, first of all, you don't have to type anything. Its main purpose is to automate the entire note-taking process. It'll summarize meetings for you. It'll answer questions that are generated during the Zoom call. You can generate action items, CTAs, call to action, all that stuff. And it helps users catch up in case they missed the beginning of the meeting or they weren't able to attend. So you can kind of think of it as like ChatGPT is built into Zoom. And actually, that's pretty much what it is. So the core difference, Zoom Notes is like a notebook. You write it in, you type it in, etc. Zoom AI Companion, it is intelligent in that you don't have to do a thing. You turn it on. AI Companion listens to what's going on the Zoom call, transcribes, consolidates, does all sorts of stuff that you would normally pass off to a human to do. It does this during the Zoom call and provides a summary afterwards. So Notes is like a filing cabinet. Keep that in mind. But AI Companion is the employee who organizes the cabinet and tells you what matters. So it really is multiple steps up from just a simple note-taking thing.
All right. Does it know, like, let's say there's 5 people on the call. Does it put in your compiled notes like Sally said this and Joe said this, that kind of thing?
Yes, it can do that. Mm-hmm. That is correct. As long as everybody identifies themselves or they are identified by the name in each of their Zoom windows.
So if they put a funky name in, it's going to show
that
up. That
funky name will get in there. Yes.
Which you do sometimes on our
I
call.
do. I could the Funky Man OG or something. Yeah, that will get in the notes. Which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Some people are a little too serious about that, but yes, you
unless
can
somebody else is reviewing the notes and says, "Who in the heck is Funky Man
well,
OG?"
I have a little story about that near the end of this, and I will tell you why you got to be careful what you do. So, the key features for notes. You create notes manually. You're editing it in real time. It's a persistent document, meaning it's tied to the meetings. And you can even have it exist before the meeting starts. You can't have AI Companion exist before the meeting starts because the meeting has to be going before AI Companion can be turned on.
Well, could the notes be your notes of what you want to talk about?
Yeah, you could. Okay. It could be your agenda. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So here's some use cases. I'm glad you brought that up. Meeting agendas. That's the top use case for this. Project tracking, brainstorming, technical documents, committee meetings. If you're doing a podcast planning and all that stuff. So yes, agenda is absolutely at the top of that list. So here's an important point about this. Notes are user driven. You have to make the effort to take the notes. You write and organize the information. Some people, and I know there's plenty of them out there, they prefer manual notes because AI summaries can just miss nuance and they can be a royal pain if somebody goes off track. You know, it can be a real pain if you don't understand how to do it. So what does AI Companion actually do versus notes? It will automatically recap the meeting right after it's finished. You don't have to do a thing. You don't have to press a button. You don't have to do a thing. It'll detect tasks, deadlines, follow-ups, anything that's an action item that was discussed during that Zoom meeting can come up.
All right, but you had to turn it on in the beginning of the meeting, right?
Yes, you must turn it on. Now, I believe there's a setting somewhere. I have not used this. So if you want to poke around in your settings, look to see if AI Companion can be set to turn on automatically at the start of a meeting. I don't know if they've implemented that.
Okay, yeah, because I usually see a pop-up box.
Yes, you'll see a pop-up that will say this meeting is being transcribed by AI Companion or words that.
Or it asks me if I want to.
Yes. Yeah. Now, I'm going to give a caveat about that right after this. You got to think about this before you set that for automatic. So it can do smart recording. It gives highlights, all this other stuff. Newer versions of Zoom can actually work with Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, in-person meetings, and all that stuff. So it's really flexible in how you do that. So the real power of this is that if you have notes, you need to be conscious of both what's going on in the Zoom meeting and what you're typing into the notes, which is okay for a lot of people. They like doing that. What AI Companion provides you is that you don't have to think at all about taking notes. AI Companion is watching, listening, and recording everything, transcribing it, and will provide you with a full summary and details at the end of your meeting. So you don't even have to think about it. It's not something that's got to be in the back of your mind. It just happens once you turn it on. All right. So advantage and disadvantages. The advantages to notes, it's far more technical. It's far more accurate, I should say, when it comes to technical discussions, because you are the one driving the notes. You can put in all sorts of technobabble, gobbledygook, and stuff like that that's pertinent to that meeting. It's better for permanent documentation for the most part. It is completely under human control. Zoom has nothing to do with this except to take your notes. And it's easier to structure if you have complex projects or all sorts of other things that take it beyond the basic level. So the con of that, the weakness, is that it's a manual effort. You have to do it, unless you have somebody sitting by you that's taking the notes on a keyboard. But somebody must do it. And somebody must maintain it. That's the other thing, too. If you're willing to do that, then notes may be for you. AI Companion. The advantages, it is a huge, and I mean huge, time saver. I have used AI Companion in many other Zoom calls. I have other people that use it as well. And it really is a time saver because, again, you don't have to think about taking notes. It's automatic. It's excellent if you're a busy executive or like Tom and I, just hanging out, talking on a podcast. But it's great for that as well. If you missed a meeting, the AI Companion summary and detail notes will get you up to speed very quickly. That's really one of the main selling points of this. And it also reduces meeting fatigue, meaning, you don't have to worry about it. It's not something you don't have to think of. So what's the weakness of this? It can misunderstand what you're saying, and I've seen that happen. Some action items can be inaccurate. Now, to be fair, you can download these notes and edit them and all sorts of other things to tweak them up. But there are some times when it can be inaccurate. So this is not, I press a button, it delivers a document, I don't have to do anything. You need to just double check, just verify. Some users will have privacy concerns, and that's the one I'm going to talk about. And also, AI summaries may oversimplify certain conversations. So here's what I've noticed. Overall, I think AI Companion is an absolute plus, especially if you're having regular meetings. Here's the caveat. You must be absolutely careful when you turn it on and when you turn it off. Here's why. I've been to several meetings with another organization where they turn on AI Companion the moment the meeting starts, and people are just coming into the room and they're busy yapping and talking about stuff. And someone revealed that their wife had a cancer diagnosis and they're going for all this other stuff and everything else. Not the kind of thing you want to reveal in a business Zoom call. And yet AI Companion absolutely nailed it and put everything down in excruciating detail. That was not what the person expected or wanted. The same thing when the meeting is over. If everybody's all done and you're busy chit-chatting and everything else, and AI Companion is still running, it will record everything else after the meeting. So just be very aware of when you turn it on, when you turn it off. So this dives into the last section here about privacy and business concerns. Many businesses are cautious, and they're right to be so, for at least the thing I just mentioned and for others as well. In some industries like healthcare, legal, finance, government, etc., they may restrict these AI features because they don't want anything automated being captured, right? So this is an ongoing battle between convenience and confidentiality. And in the workplace, confidentiality is going to win over. That's just a fact. All right, so let me wrap this up. Let's make it real easy. If you want to use Zoom Notes if you want something structured, you're managing a project on the Zoom call, and you need long-term documentation. We would use AI Companion if you want the automation feature of that and you just want to be hands-off and focus on the Zoom meeting. B, you get faster recaps of everything. C, it's a productivity boost because nobody has to worry about it. Now you're focusing on the meeting. A lot less manual work. Now, the recommendation is, if you can, use both of them together. There's nothing to say you can't use AI Companion with notes. If there are certain things you want to jot down as the meeting is going on, notes is a great place to do it. If you don't want to do that, AI Companion will capture everything that's said. And that's pretty much the bottom line. So Zoom Notes, it helps you remember stuff, but AI Companion will remember stuff too, but it helps make you think faster because you don't have to think about anything else.
Beautiful.
And that's Zoom Notes versus Zoom AI Companion.
There you go, folks. Hey, if you would like to speak with Larry one-on-one, myself one-on-one, Mark one-on-one, Travis one-on-one, Jennifer one-on-one, that's what my mentor program is all about. The Great Internet Marketing Training is where we're the only place in the world that'll actually talk to you one-on-one. All right. So that's why it's the longest running, most successful ever in the field of internet and digital marketing, and so many unique features. All right. So check it out at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and then my school at imtcva.org. It's certified to operate by SHEV. That's the State Council on Higher Education in Virginia, but you don't have to be in Virginia because it's quality distance learning.
And don't forget to mention I'm a graduate.
And that's where one of his 27 million certificates and degrees.
Boy, that number went up real fast.
Came out. Yeah. Yeah. Larry's a graduate, and he's been, how long? What's your anniversary here coming up?
The anniversary is actually today, I believe.
Oh.
And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
9 years. What are you supposed to get for the 9th year anniversary?
I don't think
paper,
there's any for 9.
Dirt,
but for 10, it's like, I don't know, a lot of good expensive stuff.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that next year, I guess.
That's right.
All right, everybody. So we'll catch y'all on the next episode. See you later.